What's up, guys? Before I get into this video, I want to give you a little bit of a setup. So the first part of this video is a clip from a live stream I did a little while ago about what Elvis books I'd recommend. The second part of this video is playing devil's advocate. What I think Elvis may have done if he knew a lot of his close friends and family would write tell-all books about him. And this is in no way calling out any of the Mafia members, especially not Billy Smith, who's probably my favorite of the Mafia, quote, Mafia members. And, you know, he's more than just a member of the group. He was actually Elvis's cousin and grew up with him from childhood. Billy I probably like the most, along with Lamar, because Billy's really funny. He has a quick wit, which is a sign of intelligence. And that's not just empty flattery. I wanted to get this message across before the video comes out, because I know how videos circulate, and I want him and the family to know my feelings on this. But this is just one side of the coin, which I'll talk about in the second part of this video. Hope you enjoy it. Just D, that is what I said. I don't know what you meant. What is the best Elvis book? Okay, so a few Elvis books that are really great is the book Being Elvis: The Lonely Life by Ray Connolly. That's a fantastic book. Also, I really like Joyce Bova's book. That's a good one. It's good because so she knew Elvis in 1969 to like 1971, and then she saw him in Vegas in 1975. So if I were to like give you a couple books, it would be Get Elvis Day by Day by Peter Grunlick and Ernest Jorgensen. Get the book Being Elvis: The Lonely Life by Ray Connolly. Get Joyce Bova's book. Get Ginger's book. People are like, why are you getting Ginger's? I don't like Ginger. Well, it's because Ginger paints like a different picture of Elvis. Because before I read that book, I kind of believed that, well, just like everybody said, Elvis was very depressed. But it's just, I don't know, I haven't read it in a few years, so I can't really pull upon a lot of things I remember from it. But when I got done reading that book, I was literally very sad and disappointed. Some you have to read, like Elvis and Me by Priscilla, just to have it in you. A lot of people say when I bring up these, they're like, oh, you got to read Last Train to Memphis. You know, those two series, and they are good, but a lot of the stuff is just rehashed. They're just like Elvis facts. Like, I like reading books from like, let me see. This one was a great one. I think this is by Alan Fortas. Yes, Alan Fortas. This is a really good one. Sonny West book was good. Jerry's was good. George Klein's, I remember, was really good. They're all good. There's not really, you know, it's just like, and some people are like, oh, you can't believe what they say. You know, they just say what they want to say. You don't know. Well, yeah, but you don't know, and you don't know they're not telling the truth. So I just take it sort of, I mean, I believe what they say, especially when you hear the same stories over and over again. And it's not that serious. Just read it, enjoy it, and take it for what it is. Ray says, David, did you know what Bruno Mars started out as Elvis impersonator? Yeah, I did. Also, a couple books I want to mention before I close this topic is Elvis and the Memphis Mafia by Elena Nash. I love that one. The classic book on Elvis's death called The Death of Elvis. Just the incredible detail of that book. The pills that Elvis took. Talking about what the doctors and nurses did while Elvis was in the hospital. The mistakes some of the nurses made. The conspiracy theories, how Vernon thought it was a murder. Some are like, well, why didn't you put in the book Destined to Die Young? Well, as many of you know, I don't agree with the theory that Elvis would have died at a young age anyway because of his grandparents were cousins. I think that's a bit of a stretch, to say the least. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into this video. So, this is just a random thought. Not an original thought, necessarily, because other people have mentioned this before. But if you think about it, a lot of problems Elvis had in the later 70s with breaking out of the mold,
doing things that he wanted to do. For example, he needed to stop touring and focus on his health, but Elvis had such a large payroll, people that he needed to give a paycheck to, people that were really living on him, like the Memphis Mafia. Not hating, I mean, they did a job for Elvis, but a lot of times Elvis says, I can't stop what I'm doing because I have so many people who are looking to me to be their provider, basically. It's kind of funny how Elvis had such loyalty to these people that he would keep going and going and overlook his own health in a lot of instances. Yes, he did a lot of bad things for his health too, but he put his own health on the line and his own peace of mind on the line, didn't give himself a break when he needed it. And I'm talking about a sustained break, not like a month. Because he had to help all these people that were looking to him for an easy paycheck. Isn't it kind of funny that these people that he wouldn't slow down for to help were the ones that after he died and even while he was still alive, I'm talking about the book Elvis, What Happened, these people took vengeance on him and wrote books that aired all his dirty laundry. These people that he wouldn't take a long extended break to help himself because he needed to bring in the cash to support the families that were really relying on him. These people ended up writing books on him, airing all his dirty laundry. Isn't that funny? If Elvis really realized the loyalty of many of these people that were in his circle, that were in his life, if he knew maybe a little more about human nature, he wouldn't have went out of his way to keep the machine going, to support all of his friends and family and hangers-on. Now, playing devil's advocate at the same time, I understand why a lot of these people would write their books, write their story, and they told the full story. And, they just can't maybe write a book of all the happy times. I mean, I guess the dirt sells also. And I'm not criticizing these people. I'm talking mostly the people who wrote books about Elvis after his death. The book Elvis, What Happened, I think personally that it was a book of vengeance because they were fired, and that's another story why they were fired. I think that book was a book of vengeance. But the others, I think maybe were not necessarily in good taste. I think those people still loved Elvis. But if Elvis knew what they would do, what they would say about him, the stories they would tell about him, maybe he would have cut some more people off. Maybe he would have taken that trip to Hawaii for a year to recuperate and recover. Maybe he wouldn't have felt the weight of having to support all these people. Elvis was better to his friends and family than they were to him. And really, who am I to judge also, because I read these books, I enjoy these books. I'm happy that they were written. I like learning everything I can on Elvis, the good, bad, and ugly. But just a thought, maybe if Elvis realized some of the things that would be done and said about him in later years, he wouldn't have felt this compelling need to keep going to support them. And one final thing before I close the video, I'm not really criticizing these people who have done it. And who knows, if we were in their position in life, maybe we would have done the same thing. Let me hear your comments down below.